Wake up, it's a new day. Dreams are calling, don't delay. Feel the power in your heart. Today's your chance to start. Hold on when it's tough, when the road gets rough.
Good morning everybody and welcome to Strengthjournal episode 24. Today I'm doing a full day of eating, so I'm gonna show you everything that I eat, and I'm also taking with me when I train upper body later in the day. So right now I'm having my breakfast, which you already saw. So I have some skyr mixed together with whey protein and also some banana and cornflakes. I am having some nuts, which are almonds and cashews, and a bit of orange juice. So that is what I'm having for breakfast, and I'll see you later when it's time to make lunch. So let's make lunch. So today we are making just some turkey with some rice and an omelette. Yeah, and that's basically gonna be it. So we'll start with the omelette. So this time I'm using 3 eggs. I'm gonna put them into the bowl. Wash my hands. And then I'm gonna put in some salt. Okay, that looks good. Into the omelette I'm gonna put half of a red onion and just some tomatoes. So this is the first time in a vlog where I'm not making some form of sandwich. So yeah. So today it is time for rice, which is definitely in my top 3 of I guess like carb sources. That's good. And now the tomatoes. Oh, I can definitely notice some of the red onion scent is going into my eye. So I might just start to cry. Usually it actually happens when I start to cook the onions. So when I'm cutting them, everything is fine. But when I put them into the pan and all of the scent is going into my eye, then I kind of start to struggle a little bit. But yeah, so we're gonna put that everything into the little egg bowl. That's 2. So now I'm gonna switch the camera around so you can see the pan right there. I could actually use some olive oil this time. So for egg stuff, I actually like to use olive oil instead of sesame oil. That should be good. And I definitely said it before, every time I'm waiting for something that is starting to cook, I always start to clean up the stuff that I don't need anymore. So I don't need the whisk anymore, so I can just clean it up and put it away. So now I have more space and I don't have to do it later, which is very convenient and time saving. Okay, so now let's put in the eggs. There was actually like a time, like a year ago, where I ate omelets basically like every night as a dinner, because I just didn't really know how to cook other stuff myself. So I always had like an omelet, as my dinner for basically every day. So I'm glad that now I have more like knowledge and more skills when it comes to cooking. So that now I can make more food variations and just different types of food, and yeah, that's definitely more enjoyable than eating omelette every day. But because of that, my omelette is pretty good. So yeah, so let me just show you how the omelette is looking. Pretty good, I would say. So I'm gonna take that out now. So I'm just gonna add some extra oil again, because I don't think that the rest in the pan is gonna be enough, just a little bit. So now I'm gonna put in the turkey. So I've got 2 pieces, just gonna put them in. There we go. And I'm also gonna add, of course, some pepper and some chili powder as well. And as always, a bit of soy sauce. So let me just show you how the meat is looking right now. So I would say pretty good, but that's just the one side, the other side is still raw, so I have to wait for that. But I would say that looks pretty good. Okay, so I think that's done now. So now I'm just gonna start plating the turkey. Switch the camera angle again. Let's take these two bad boys out. There we go, there's one and there's the other. And now we just have to plate the rice. Rice looks pretty good, I would say. So that is a pretty simple meal. So it's basically just like turkey, so a source of protein, we got some omelette, another source of protein, and then just some rice for carbs. And that's basically it. But that's just kind of like my, I guess, template for my lunch always. So there's always like a protein source, a carb source, and then just some other additional stuff that I like. That's basically like how I like to cook. And yeah, so we're almost done, but I also want to have a little bit of extra sauce. I'm also gonna have some sweet chili sauce. Gonna put it into an additional bowl. Okay. And now we can have a little bit of taste test. So can you see me? Yeah, it should be fine. I'm gonna start with the rice. Rice is good. Then let's have a piece of the omelette. Yeah, that's good as well. And now let's taste the turkey. Okay. Everything tastes pretty good. So that is the meal. We got 2 pieces of turkey, some rice, some omelette, bit of sauce, and that's about it. Pretty nice and simple meal, but also pretty delicious. So I'm gonna clean up here, then I will eat that, and we will see each other, and and we will see each other again when I'm going to the gym. So right now I'm having my pre-workout snack, I guess you could say. So I'm just having an energy drink and some pears. So yeah, that's basically it. So workout is complete now, and let me just talk you through the workout while I enjoy some tasty post-workout rice waffles. So I started the workout as always with just a 5 minutes of a general warm-up. I did some incline walking for 5 minutes, just something low intensity to get my heart rate up. And then before I started with my first exercise, I did some mobility preparation. So today I started with, as the first exercise, I started with handstand push-up attempts. So that's why I did some wrist push-ups and some dead hangs as my mobility preparation for the handstand push-up attempts, just to open up my shoulders and to warm up my wrists. And after that I did 2 sets of pike push-ups, supersetted with just handstand holds, just to warm up my shoulders even more and to get prepared for the handstand push-up. By the way, I apologize for the bad lighting, but it's already quite dark outside and I only have my car light here, so this has to work. But it looks quite cozy, I guess, so I hope it's fine. I hope you don't mind. So yeah, I started with handstand push-up attempts, and today was a pretty good day. So I got 3 successful reps, which is really nice. And there were also some other repetitions which were quite close. So I'm pretty happy with that. Especially since in the last session where I did handstand push-up attempts, I didn't get any repetitions. So 3, that's quite good for me. And yeah, I definitely take that. And I can definitely see the progress with the handstand push-up attempts and just how it feels. So for me personally, my struggle is not strength, because once I how do I say that? So once I enter the right position with my body, I can push myself up pretty easily, but I usually struggle to find the right body positioning. And that's why I either fall like forwards or backwards. So I just have to work on the coordination and technique part of the handstand push-up, but that's going pretty well, I would say. Then after the handstand push-up attempts, I continued on with arms. And I started with a superset of dumbbell bicep curls and tricep pushdowns. For 3 sets of, I think, 5 to 10 for the bicep curls and 6 to 10 for the tricep pushdowns. I really like the basic arm exercises, so I just enjoy like regular bicep curls with your arms by your side and just tricep pushdowns. Although they might not be like optimal on paper, I enjoy them. I can push them really close to failure. They feel good for me. And I think that's sometimes more important than having like the perfect resistance curve for hypertrophy. I personally like to train arms both in a like lower or moderate rep range and in a high rep range. Just because I think that it's a good idea just to mix up different rep ranges, especially for smaller muscle groups as well. Because you will typically find that most people tend to always do like higher repetitions for like arms or like delts or something. But I think there's like nothing wrong with also doing like low repetitions. And I personally find that it's easier to push a set of like 6 or 8 to failure in comparison to a set of 20. Which is probably just because of the fact that a set of 6 to 8 just doesn't take as long. There's like less of a burn. Then for the second superset for the arms, I did cable overhead extensions and cable curls. For the triceps, let's start with the tricep one. So your triceps has 3 heads, that's why it's called the tricep. So you have the lateral, medial and the long head. And while the lateral and the medial head only cross the elbow joint, the long head also crosses the shoulder joint. This means that your lateral and your medial head, hard to pronounce, only does elbow extension and doesn't really matter where your arm is in space. But with the long head, if you want to train that part of the tricep in the lengthened position, so when it's stretched out, you have to raise your arms overhead to get a full stretch. So this is where something like a cable overhead extension comes into play, or like a skull crusher, or something similar to that. So something where your arm is more overhead. And with both of these exercises, I also intentionally put the cable at around like hand or hip height, so that there is more tension when the muscles are stretched. That's something you can just play around with, and you will definitely feel the difference. That's all I did for the arms, and after that I continued with the side delts and I did some cable lateral raises. I really like the cable lateral raise, especially as a complement for your dumbbell lateral raises, because you will find that in a dumbbell lateral raise, the hardest point will always be the top position. So up here it's always really hard, and down here when your side delts are stretched, it's always pretty easy. But with the cable lateral raise, especially if you set up the cable at hip height, you will have way more tension at the bottom position, and the top position will be a lot easier in comparison. And also, if you're doing the cable lateral raise single arm, you can also come across your body and even get a better stretch on your side delts. So I really like to use like both the dumbbell lateral raise and the cable lateral raise just to train my side delts in both positions. Then as the last exercise of the day, I did cable face pulls to primarily target the rear delts. I chose a variation where you pull more from a low to high angle, and that stimulates your muscles in a different way. I can't really explain how exactly, but I felt this variation a bit more in my side delts in comparison to if you would pull from a high to low angle. So just a variation to play around with. So in general, the face pull is a great exercise for your rear delts, but it will also target your side delts and also your rotator cuff and also upper back. So it's just a great overall posterior chain developer, I would say. And one last thing, you will notice that I push most of the sets of all of the isolation exercises for my arms and delts pretty close to failure, even to failure. And on some sets I even went beyond failure by using drop sets, etc. I find that on isolation exercises, you can push the intensity pretty high without getting too much fatigue out of the exercise, especially in comparison to like compound exercises. So I would definitely recommend that for hypertrophy, that you push your isolation exercise pretty hard and don't leave like more than 2-ish reps in reserve, unless you're like injured or something. But for hypertrophy, really push your isolation exercise close to failure and don't treat them as some like extra bonus exercise or like some icing on the cake, because your isolation exercise are not the icing on the cake. Your bicep curls, tricep extensions, lateral raises, those are like the main exercises for your biceps, triceps and lateral delts or side delts. And you should treat them that way. So don't treat them as something that is like an accessory, that you're just going like through the motion, doing some high rep, getting a pump. Really push them close to failure, progressively overload over time, and just treat them like any other compound exercise. And that's how you grow these muscles. And from my personal experience, I'll be honest, I didn't push hard enough on these exercises. I didn't push my curls hard enough, didn't push my lateral raises hard enough. And that's why like these muscles are lagging for me right now. So I'm trying to correct this weakness, and yeah, that's basically how you do that. So just push hard on these exercises, and yeah. So that was the workout. Overall pretty great. I would give it a solid, I would say 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, so definitely a lot of fun. So I'm gonna drive home now and then make dinner. So dinner is served. We got a nice, I would say, salad bowl with, I don't know if you can see it, with shrimps, some mozzarella cheese, some skewer sauce, some salad, some tomatoes, and I also put in some tortilla chips. I'm gonna eat that now because I'm very hungry. And then I'll see you a little bit later when I'm eating dessert. So now it's time to dessert. Not a better way to finish a day with some delicious ice cream I think that flavor is cookies and cream. And we also got a fruit plate, which my mother made me as every day. So love you, mom. And yeah, that's about it for today. If you liked today's Strength Journal episode, I would highly appreciate if you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to share your feedback and thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you next time. Much love and see you on level 100. Peace.